now, so let's see if DF will run. Oh yeah, there we go.
Of course, now you need to put a -H in there so we can actually
If it supports
understand
-H. Wait, you can't read that? So, we've got
24 meg.
Yeah, 24 megs, and this is, I mean, this is really good. You could install a few more things and still be under 100 megs.
I'm assuming that UNetbooten makes it the hard way, the old way.
Yes, UNetbooten makes it the hard way. That's one of the solutions I looked at, and it's always like, I want it to be customized to this, and it's like, well, you just remaster your image. It's a read-write device. I don't need to remaster an image. Because I will say, I thought I had to. Until a week or two ago when I thought about this, I knew that I could install an OS to a USB device, but I thought that if it or I didn't know about the label, for one thing. I knew that they could have labels, but I thought that you had to have the actual device name. But I was looking at the way the Arch Linux kernel currently boots, and it's using labels anyway, because devices can be renumbered all the time. They're never in a constant order. So
Is there a UNetbooten maintainer you can pass it on to?
I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is write a few shell scripts that that do the parts about making this bootable and provide a default config file, and then sort of walk you through, like handhold. What is the name of your where is the kernel that you've already compiled? Where is the initramfs that you've already compiled? And then maybe a separate script like the Arch Linux one that runs on a generic basis, like on Ubuntu and Arch and Gentoo and so on, that creates an initramfs file. But just like a collection of scripts that are kind of agnostic to what you're going to end up with. But as you can see, we've had a few stumbling blocks, but it's not all that hard to get something bootable. It's certainly, what I mean by it's not hard is you don't have to have a bizarre set of loops that you have to go through and have a read-only system. So that's pretty much that. And where we're going with this is actually a series of talks. A guy who was here earlier with his son, who's I guess stepped out or is gone. His name is Mick, and him and I are working on setting up a demonstration for a router, which we're going to demonstrate at the next slug meeting, the one in Pinellas Park. But we're going to come back here with the result of that and the videos that Pete's taking, which hopefully are capturing my audio and the screen a little bit. We're going to have basically a log, or a vlog actually, of getting this box set up and running. And at some point, this box will be up and running and probably publicly accessible. And then when someone will get a wild hair up their butt and go, I want to install blah on it, like a different Linux distro that doesn't even exist yet. Or they want to run a bare metal BusyBox-based thing, well, and a small 100-line of C, HTTP server, that kind of thing. And it's sort of going to be like the project box for that. Which is amazing because it's not really all that fast. It's a VIA C7 that's been sitting in my garage for a while, but it still works. So
Dylan, can this be done on a small sound disk?
is it a block device?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Does your hardware support booting from it?
I don't know, it's a Raspberry Pi. Yes, it has to.
Oh wait, the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
It's got its own.
The Raspberry Pi has
That's
its own
an
bootloader that's actually much simpler.
Yeah.
But as far as the bare metal stuff, after the bootloader portion, so you tear out the ext Linux layer, and this is all you need to boot on a Raspberry Pi. You have a kernel compiled for ARM. You have an initramfs. I don't remember. I have a Raspberry Pi, and I just did an install of the Arch Linux version for it, and I forget the details. But basically, it's looking for a particular executable on the first fat partition, and it loads that. It loads the kernel in it, but the rest of it's the same. So with the same, you'd have the same runtime requirements: BusyBox and a bin init, because the kernel is the one executing that. So the thing that changes is instead of ext Linux, you have the thing that's built into the Raspberry Pi.
And they're still looking for fat.
And they're still, but the thing is, it doesn't have to be the whole device, and I think you get away with like a 16 meg, 16 meg fat directory. I said meg, right? Yeah, not gig. Does anyone else do that occasionally? You refer to gigs as megs?
No.
Gigs are like more space than you'll ever use in your lifetime.
Not really, I have.
So you get the petabytes.
I didn't say you can't cram crap in there. It's like a 3,000 square foot house. You can cram it full of shit. You can't actually use it. And you can't have more fun on the same size bed in a bigger house.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting
Or
way
car.
of looking at it.
Never saw it that way.
Oh, so that went that way.
Well, there's a guy on, I was just reading it today, he's trying to make the entire internet into one computer. Welcome Skynet.
What?
Yeah, he's got like something that's similar to the way Google uses their warehouse as one computer. He wants to do it to the entire internet. It's called
Yeah.
Docker.
Strange.
The super zombie net.
Yeah, it's Skynet.
All right, so I will make this
I guess we
bootable.
must kill him. Quickly.
And it even shut down on its own.
Mhm.
Isn't that amazing? Go, little computer thing.
Yay, busy bugs.
Oh, I've had plenty of
Don't
computers
forget
shut
to
down.
It's getting him to boot back up, that's the problem.
Since this is smaller than puppy, what do you call it, canine fetus?
I've seen to
You got
suggestions.
tell.
Actually, you know what? I'll actually publish the disk
Fetus.
image of this 24 thing. I'm going to call it gerbil.
A fetus.
The gerbil distribution.
Stem cell.
Stem cell distribution.
Can't get much smaller than a stem cell.
Aren't undifferentiated cells actually a little bigger than like the smallest cell
Yes.
that you could get?
Much.
Yeah.
How about zygote?
Yeah, when you talk about sperm, we're really not going there. We kind of went there a second ago, let's back off. Referring to anything earlier than a blastocyst as being obscene.
Yeah.
So that's one with one partition on it. So this one will be D. The floor is now open for discussion, and I let someone else use the projector if they so desire. I announced that we're going to be doing the project box. That's going to be interspersed with other topics because we have other people coming here. But Nick wanted to talk about routers, and he didn't have any hardware for that. So I was like, I have hardware, and it's like, cool. But I didn't have hard drive to give him, and the thing has 6 USB ports on it. So. Now, granted, I could have just installed a hard drive or a thumb drive in there and installed the full OS using that method, but I wanted to see about building it. I wanted to understand how it works. All right, so we have Mr. Pete's little tiny thumb drive. I'm actually going to use Gparted on it as well. Hey Pete, did you have any? Oh no, you just took it out of the package. There's nothing on it that you care about.
Some virus from the manufacturer.
From NSA.
Yeah. They do come with viruses already installed.
Yeah. National Security Agency virus.
Malware 2000.
Okay.
I forget, one company had to recall theirs because it actually had a virus on the,
It was a digital picture frame. People plug it into the Windows, it would auto run and start copying virus.
Wonderful.
It was sold at Walmart, so a lot of them got out.
Ooh, that's plausible deniability. My USB made me do it.
Is FAT okay with partitions that are
Forest
that big?
fires.
Well, it depends on how fat.
That it should be.
You know, some stuff wants fat 16. Some old files, you know.
Most stuff when it's bad is just disgusting.
Well, I think you're biased.
No, I'm not biased, I'm skinny. It's a point of view.
What's the difference? Huh.
I can't
Oh.
believe no one's mentioned ButterFS yet.
Oh, ButterFS, that sounds like it would really be
Tasty.
Fat City.
Now they had a bacon FS.
Bacon with the
Mhm.
cholesterol FS.
What a name for a Linux distribution. Bacon.
Someone's probably already got it out there.
Yeah, you
I don't know, is it on DistroWatch yet?
That would be big in the south.
Well, then we'd have to have Linux, somebody to, Linux guru to always save our
Fried candy
bacon.
bar.
Right.
Get inspiration from Epic Mealtime.
Well, you can make a backup program called Save My Bacon.
Meat tornado FS.
Layer of chocolate cake, some strips of bacon, more chocolate cake, vanilla frosting, and more bacon.
One of the national foods in Scotland now is a fried Mars bar. About, I think it's like 40% of the orders of fish and chips nowadays also come with a fried Mars bar.
And a small batch of haggis.
So I'm copying
One
the
coronary artery.
system
to go.
that I had set up on the working one to Pete's file system. I'll then log into it, change the password for root. And we can continue. I'll probably have an update for him or she'll help him get X running on it.
That's a bit cheap.
That was a 32 gig, right?
But I'm only
In a
copying the
dongle
first.
size.
With
What?
the
And the
whiskey
dongle
sauce
size.
with the haggis.
Yeah, it's like-
That says, did I
It's
call
smaller
you
than
this
that.
one?
Barely sticks out.
Yeah, it's
Smaller than that. Oh, you have one of those metal ones too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used one of those in my router because it was has good thermal characteristics.
Really? Because they're lined with plastic on the inside.
Yeah,
Oh, metal thumb drive?
it still irradiates heat better.
Irradiate.
Irradiates.
Radiates.
No,
Radiates.
it radiates. Yes.
Irradiates would be the.
Irradiates.
Well, it's not. It's all electromagnetic radiation anyway.
Germans.
Didn't want children.
Sunburn is just radiation poisoning.
Yeah, yeah, actually it is.
You know, we can't see it back here.
See what back there?
Well, he keeps hiding it behind his hand, so we can't see the little thing here. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, very nice.
Is he playing Minecraft again?
I'm not. I could be.
Is that USB
I read Flicker Ball.
No, unfortunately. So yeah, so he has a USB 3 dongle over there. So if you have a machine with USB 3 and you do the same procedure on it, and it's presuming it's bootable, that's almost like at least the theoretical maximum speed is like 6 gigs a second.
Theoretical.
Yeah.
Mm.
The theoretical for USB 2 is 480. Megs.
Megabits.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you run a live CD off of a USB 3 device, and that's like almost like a desktop computer usable.
Megabits or megabytes?
You have to remember that's first.
Megabits,
Fast.
480
It's fast.
megabits for USB 2 and 6 gigabits for USB 3.
How could it go through a buffer?
Most machines that would have USB 3 would probably already have. Of course, there's not many there. Of course, there's not a whole lot that have gone to USB 3 yet, besides Apple.
There's hardly any like dry, and they also are doing the lightning stuff too, or Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
All they really used, the only thing I've seen Thunderbolt device, the only Thunderbolt devices I've seen beside, displays obviously, but there's like some hard drive.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen an actual enclosure.
Network cables, quite a bit too. A lot of the MacBooks don't actually have physical NICs anymore, which they fall out pretty easily.
You know this from experience.
Yeah, our CEO.
Awesome.
Because I've been looking at US,
He
because
said
I've
he knew
got,
Macs and he wouldn't need support on it.
you've been looking at, because my home machine is a Mac Mini, and I've been looking for, because I have a USB 2.0 enclosure right now for a 2 terabyte drive, and I'm just gonna switch it over to USB 3.
Yeah, I've got a USB 2 and eSATA one, and the only problem with that is eSATA cables are not terribly portable. They're
Rigid.
very rigid, yeah.
My enclosure is eSATA too. When I had an actual PC box, I used the eSATA, but Mac doesn't.
Well, I have an eSATA on my laptop, which is what I thought.
Yeah,
But
I
now
have
when
it on mine also, but I haven't used it.
I joked about it earlier, but I have a CD-ROM drive in here, so I'm actually looking to get an enclosure to replace the CD-ROM drive with an additional hard drive that I can spin down and not use, because this is solid state and kind of small.
I remember there was. I remember there was a ThinkPad where they actually
It's just so nice,
offered
like, try to put some.
a module like that, when they had the modular ThinkPads, where you can pop out the
I like
CD-ROM.
smaller machines. I have
Yeah,
older, but on
the
bigger
ThinkPad
scale,
itself has an enclosure for it, but I've been trying to find a cheaper option because it was at a point where it was like, I'm not paying that much for a bit of metal in a particular shape,
Yeah,
because that's what it is.
yeah, because I know they had like they had one that was a floppy drive and then one that you could actually mount.
Well, it turns out that the
2.5
bay adapters for laptops to get an additional drive in them are actually standardized, at least between ThinkPad, HP, Acer, and Asus. But there's 2 standards, and depending on the laptop, it has to do with the height, and no one advertises the height. So I've already ordered one and sent it back because it was the shorter one. So I put it in here, and it fit, but there was like this much space leading into my laptop, and I'm like, no.
So you really want a phone with hard drives? They had one of the Sylvania netbook. It was basically a rebranded CloudBook, I think it was, or whatever the original netbook, that first model that came out.
Oh, Asus E?
I think it was called the CloudBook, but this was by Sylvania. It was called the G netbook or something. It had
Oh, I've seen those.
yeah. The hard drives in them, they're not 3.5, they're not 2.5. They're actually smaller than 2.5 drive.
Oh, like
And a proprietary interface. I could not take out the drive that was in it and swap in like a 320 or something.
1.8.
I've seen I've seen tablets branded under Polaroid. They're like $40.
At least $300.
But no, I thought they were soldered in. The $40 Polaroid branded tablets.
Yes.
Well, I've got a whole new tablet now. It's 32
Don't think it's
gig
got a
of.
forty going to it. It's
It
supposed
says
to be going to
SSD,
Splunk.
but I think it's flash.
Yeah, I need to set up a redirect for it. The redirect disappeared when I.
The C name?
It has a CNAME.
Do you want to keep it?
If we become a nonprofit,
Okay.
using that name, there's no name in Florida similar to it. I looked, I don't believe there's any trademark. There's plenty of other companies with Unix in their name, so I'm not sure what the trademark thing is on that.
I think Unix is still trademarked to AT&T, and they don't really care anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, anyway, so I think that it could be a good business name for registering our slow nonprofit.
The domain expires in a month. So I was going to register it, I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, if you think it's good, I think that as our organization being that, it's.
Well, if we're going to go for, if we are thinking about doing a 501c3, then yeah.
The only time AT&T ever cared about their Unix trademark was when SCO was trying to bully everybody.
It's
And AT&T basically used it to bully SCO back into submission.
Yeah, which is weird for AT&T actually doing something good.
You mean nice?
Nice, yeah. Okay, it's really weird for a large telecom to do anything nice.
See, then you're not looking close enough for their benefit.
They get tax credits for donating 501(c)(3)s.
Bingo. What is the intended abuse? Always ask that question.
Intended abuse.
Gingers.
Yeah, AT&T never really
Third
cared about
floor,
its
2
IP for
pounds.
Unix after they let go of it until SCO was harassing publishers. And then AT&T probably said we had enough of this.
So do you want to write up for this?
Can't put the hammer on this go.
So I could try it?
I will, actually, I was gonna post it to the Slugworth.
Including that little DD command. because-
Oh, no, it's gonna be the 3 steps that you need to, the 3 commands you need to run in a copy of the thing. I was also gonna include a link to the CDA Bootstrap, because I know that Ubuntu is like the most popular distro in our group.
Why don't we start posting this to, suncoastboard.org now?
But we can, because anyone can add content to the thing now, because it's just,
And just
Oh,
be, you
yeah,
know.
we need to have an article section.
Yeah.
yeah, and when you have hardware that says it'll look for ISP3.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So of course, is a 2 hour
Stuff on
break.
there to protect. Is it still there?
Huh?
I need to check this one.
Yeah, somebody moved it a little
I love how they do that. It's a micro USB, which means adapter, which I happen to have.
Yeah, I have USB.
Well, I've got like, well, you actually don't even need that. I have that, but also what I did was I just grabbed a micro USB cable from the phone.
So you're coming to meetings now?
And then I bought one of those USB cables from,
So do you care?
oh, it's Tiger Direct, it's got the interchangeable tips.
Yeah, we have one of those.
Yeah, so that's all I, that's,
Well, I probably wouldn't make
it's
it
just a pain in the butt to have to carry it around.
But like if you want to further
There's
enhance.
USB ports micro, it's not standard.
Well, same.
I mean, micro USB is standard, but I mean,
Yeah, Carol was.
if I want to plug a device in, I have to put an adapter. And it doesn't come with the adapter.
It's like 13 miles.
And nobody sends the adapter or anything.
They were right up on that, and
Yeah, we'll be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I get off work at 6, I barely made
I'm
it.
trying to figure out how I'm gonna publish.
Well, it's a joke, you know, it's, I'm used to people
Because
being
otherwise I
here
would've
at
got-
7:15, so. It was a bit odd, it was odd that I didn't show up.
It's probably
Last time I looked at the list, it said 6, and I said, well, yeah, maybe I'll go.
Is your presentation
Well,
done?
Yep.
Now it's a 6.
He's just working
Yeah,
on
basically 6 to 7 is open to free talk.
I can't think he's working on your thumb drive.
This one